have threatened. But so far, the net remains unrippled.
Certainly the statistics fall in favour of Bidvest Wits. 8 goal attempts to the Italian outfit with no goal attempts, but I say off the hook with a penalty call. Bidvest Wits will be wary about that, because if they do not manage to get a draw, as we said at the beginning of the game, we'll see Espanyol with a chance of going to the semi-final.
As Karim dispenses it out to Sipiwe Mabena, hoping to repeat the feat that he managed yesterday when he got a double. It was against Espanyol. Espanyol now also on 4 points, but with a far inferior goal difference to Bidvest Wits. Human lifts this in, and Mabena pounces at the back post, but can't get enough purchase on his header. Sivanyoni attempting to cut that one out. Talarico hoists it long. Now played into space behind the defence. Kapoweza comes across brilliantly to take that off the feet of 15-year-old Gabriela Piccinini. He's heavily strapped now, and I'll be honest, I didn't notice that strapping in the first half, if it was there, and I didn't notice any kind of coming together that might have caused an injury. And perhaps you are more eagle-eyed than I.
I thought you were going to say you thought it's a new haircut. But yes, I definitely think something to treat in the half-time, and certainly never affected him. So see how he bombed across to cover his defence.
Break cross to Kanyane. I must say, as a collective, Bidvest Wits have in my opinion, the 2 best full-backs. Not necessarily going to stick my neck out and say that either one are the best full-back in the tournament, but the 2 of them combined as a full-back pairing, if you like, are the best in my opinion.
I'm going to have to agree with you there, Grant. But for the fullbacks to have the confidence to go venture forward, they have to have belief that the central pair is going to cover them. You see that Mkize in the central of midfield, as soon as they venture forward, he is there to cover them.
There's Mabena. Mabena tries to squeeze it in at the near post. And gets a little shove in the back from Talarico for good measure. I don't know what's incensed him so.
Great improvisation from Mabena. He didn't have a lot of time to swing the leg backwards, and he just decided to use the toe punt, which is very effective at times. We've seen the game before this, the Orlando Pirates striker used that technique and was successful.
Good old-fashioned Toby almost catches the goalkeeper out. Now they've gone short. Karim bends it! Now Karim again. They need to restart. Kapoweza. Kapoweza was clipped, but he goes on, and Tekiso Nyelele comes back for the advantage, because a counter-attacking opportunity would not have been fair had Reggiana been afforded it off the back of that.
A great strike by Karim. He's not only nimble-footed and a lot of skill, he also possesses a powerful shot, and not easy to focus. He just kept his head down, laces through, and goalkeeper having to work real hard today. That should thus far, and goalkeeper called into action and equal to the task.
Ziveri is on now for Reggiana. He's the man that came off the bench yesterday to score their only goal against Black African Hopsol, a game that they lost 2-1.
Bidvest striker Ben Milamdevits, not really in the game today. Yesterday was very effective, always the point of reference. When the ball is played up to him, he's got a lovely first touch on him, and runners around him, he finds them very easily, but the Italian defense just marshalling him there and keeping him very quiet today.
Kanyane. Cross. Karim. Karim past one. Karim with the ball. Sibagnoni. Mkize. Let's fly. Willem Dowitz was following up. Human. Karim. With a rare errant touch. That was a little bit of handbags there between a few of the players.
Some great football by Bidvest Wits. Great run from Mkize, made a deep run. Good save by the keeper. That was certainly going on target. A snapshot by Humain, and the defender stands tall.
Well, in the meantime, there's been another sub. It's Francesco Albertini, who did start in the last game, and he's on for Piccinini. Lovely turn by Mkize. Now this is Skosana. Skosana fouled, free kick now for Bidvest Wits. 7 minutes into the second half. And it's all getting a little testy out there.
Italians not too happy with the skill and the flair given by the South Africans, and trying to get a bit tough on them. Certainly a tactical decision by the Italian coach there to change his...
It's Willem Dowitz. Hits the advertising hoardings behind the goal. That they applaud the efforts there. Is that more urgency that the coach is calling for?
Saying let's continue this attacking wave. A striker with a rare opportunity to get on the goal sheet.
Ben Willem Dowitz turns 17 in April. Does a schooling out at King David. Now that's a nut. Kize takes possession for Bidvest Wits. Sibayoni has an overlapping man. Human threads it through. Skosana can't get on the end of it.
As I was saying, the Italian coach just making a switch here at right back. He's seen that the young Simpiwe Mabena just getting the better of the right back, and before too long he was either going to concede a penalty or concede a goal, so just throwing caution to the wind, bringing on a fresh pair of legs in the defense to contain the goal scorer of yesterday. Got 2 goals.
Brad Cross just clutching his side as he powered through to head that away. It's a free kick now for AC Reggiana. Sanat clips it into the box.
Sanat reminds me of the small Italian midfielder Giovinco, who used to play for Juventus.
Out in America now, Toronto FC if I'm not mistaken. Not America, Canada, but playing in the MLS at least.
Same but different.
Yeah. Ball in, Willem Dowitz can't get on the end of it. Karim shapes past one, tries to put it in for Mabena. Against this resolute Reggiana side. Kanyane has the ball taken away from him by a team who are known as Granata in their homeland because of their maroon home strip. Currently their senior team 9 points behind Calcio Padova in second place in Serie C. They do have a game in hand though, hoping to win promotion to Serie B. Cross has been in the wars in the last minute or so.
And he's not afraid to get stuck in easy. Also very comfortable with the ball. It's good to see that diversity in the player. Especially defenders are not really known to be very composed and strong in the tackle at the same time, and a big talent.
Sorry, Stanton Mkhize was dragged back there, so that's going to draw a yellow card for Ziveri, who's only been on the field a matter of minutes.
The Italian temper is really flaring up now, and getting a bit frustrated because Bidvest Wits just pinning them back in their own half, turning on the style.
I think that they don't have enough time to get the requisite scoreline that they need. Remember, 1-0 win not good enough. A 2-0 win would do the business for them. Do they have enough time to get those 2 goals in less than 20 that remain? I know that their chances of following in the footsteps of another Italian outfit in the form of Torino will not come to fruition, should they not be able to get that 2-0 win. Torino, of course, who were debutants back in 2015 and won the competition, beating Supersport United in the final. It was, in fact, the first ever time that a South African team had got a podium finish. Had finished inside the top 3 in future champs Gauteng, despite there having been 6 previous iterations of the tournament. This is Mkhize. Human returns the ball to him. Ulu. Cross provides him with an option. They like to go short from the back to Wits. Shiman. Mabena. Karim.
Nothing wrong with that effort. Once again, the Italian defense just very compact in that central area. But Bidvest Wits left to options to shoot from outside the box. Very little joy down the flanks now, and they're going to have to do something special. I think it's going to take a bit of individual brilliance, which Bidvest Wits have in abundance, the likes of Mabena, Humane. Certainly Karim in there with the deft touches, the skillful ones. He's got a few chances today. Unfortunate not to be on the score sheet with a few valiant attempts.
There's a bit of infighting now. I think some in the ranks of Reggiana not happy with the effort that some of their teammates are putting in. Talarico there telling off a teammate who had probably admonished him for not going up for the header. They'll be making another switch here, will Reggiana. And Mori, the 15-year-old, is off. Lorenzani is on. Bidvest Wits are the current holders of the Gauteng Cup that they won just over 2 weeks ago, beating Mamelodi Sundowns in the final, where they had to come back to equalize twice. Mabena was amongst the scorers on that day, as was Bongeni Kanyane. They took that game to penalties after it ended 2-2. Now the ball goes in and over from Mkhize.
Looked like he was celebrating for a minute.
Yep. I thought so.
Great delivery into the box from Humane, and unlikely player to get on the end of it. He's not the biggest of guys, but a great run from deep in from Mkhize. He was unfortunate not to get that on target.
You can can tell you off camera that the Reggiana players continue to fight amongst themselves. The criticism is probably no longer constructive. Here's Melem Dawitz, and Cassini comes careening across to take that ball off the feet of the Johannesburg-born forward. Abena to Human. Kize. Kize lines it up, blocked. Karim took a touch to set himself. There's Human. He and Sivanyoni miscommunicate slightly. Now the diminutive Sanat tries to get free and wins his side. The foul. Wits are the owners of a victory over Italian opposition in this competition. Back in 2016, they drew 1-1 with Torino. In the last edition, they did manage a 2-1 win of the Italian outfit. They are one of two European teams that Wits met twice consecutively, the other being Atletico Madrid. Scasano believes he was pulled back there.
As you mentioned, the Italian defense standing resolute, not giving away anything, keeping on fighting. And unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. They need to start venturing forward if they harbor any dreams of making it. The Italian team still without an attempt on goal.
Nice touch. And then Agimang turns over possession but fights hard to win it back. He and Human tussling. The free kick goes the way of Reggiana. Piccinini. Ball back with Cassini, now dispensed out to the left-hand side. Set-piece opportunity for the Italians. That's Scasano who committed the foul, a man who moved from Supersport United last year, along with Mbongeni Kanyane, and two of them both coming from Matsatsansa. Who actually scouted at the Gauteng Cup competition, which is qualifying for future champs. Supersport United didn't make it this time around, nor to the last edition, but Bidvest Wits saw enough from those two boys to recruit them. Now ball in, and I feel like Akimang should have done a little better. Well, the Bidvest Wits senior team are currently 10th in the league, but they've been doing well recently, which means that plenty of their players have got call-ups to the South African national team, who are currently drawing 1-1 in that game, despite being 1-0 down earlier.
The entire Bidvest Wits defense been called up to do duty for Bafana Bafana.
Menendowitz has always just been a yard too short in his attempts to get onto the through balls. He exchanged words with the goalkeeper here. And the shot stopper not appreciating the way the big striker clattered into him.
So for all the dominance that Bidvest Wits has showed in both their games, if this one ends in a draw and you look at the log, it won't look too convincing. 1 win and 2 draws. But whatever it takes to get to the semis will suffice.
There's Mkhize to Skosana. Now they won't want to draw this. As I said, it's immaterial whether they get a win or a draw as to whether they end top of the log or not. But it's all about that positive momentum.
The one thing that's going to stand out is that not conceding a single goal.
Oh, that's certainly true. Dylan Shepherd managed to guide his team to 3 wins in the group stage in the last edition. Right now they are owners of a win and a draw, heading towards another draw. It mattered not how they performed in the group stage last time around, because in the semi-finals they were beaten by Atletico Madrid. Here's Reggiana looking to do the same as the fellow European side. Wits scored 25 times in the group stages in the last edition. This time they've only managed 2 goals. Simeone leaves the ball behind and wins his team a foul. I want to take this free kick quickly.
Italian defenders not impressed with that showboating.
Interestingly enough, Dylan Shepherd hasn't deemed it necessary to make a sub.
Certainly think that he should make a few changes, especially up front. But something that you mentioned earlier, Grant, is that Bidvest Wits goalkeeper called into action just a few moments ago. He's obviously just remained awake, alert, and has been very pivotal in that clean sheet for Bidvest Wits in the past 3 games.
The referee is calling a couple of players over. It's something that he's spoken about many times during the game, and Mkhize is the man to receive the booking. These little tussles that are taking place prior to the corners. The free kick will come. Well, again, the referee has to deal with something, and that's because the captain, Cassini, is all over Ben Melendowitz. So, 2 yellow cards apiece for these 2 sides. He's still calling for them to cut it out. Taken short, offside. That's criminal.
We've seen Bidvest Wits try that same free kick in the first game. Never came off. Humain found himself in an offside position. And a repetition of that. I think the coach is going to have to scratch that one off the training field.
Come up with a new one tomorrow, maybe. Tomorrow, of course, a rest day, a cultural day for these boys. We will resume again on Friday with the semi-finals and other playoff games. Ziveri tries to steer it across.
As important as a cultural day is for this entire event and experience for everybody, I'm sure the semi-finalists, the coaches of the semi-finalists are going to be very wary to say, guys, let's use this as regeneration. Let's not try to do too much. Stay off your feet, stay out the sun, and let's be fresh for Friday's semi-final.
Skosana. Lapse of concentration now.
Sure, the coaches will be heading straight to the ice baths, if there's any at the venue where they're staying, just to regenerate the muscles and try to get them back as close as possible to 100% before the semi-finals.
Just confirmation moments ago of Tommaso Cassini's earlier yellow card, or the hands that he was putting all over Ben Melendowitz. We are 5 minutes away from the conclusion of this match. 5 minutes away from the conclusion of the group stages of Future Champs Gauteng 2018.
Also, the technical staff of the semi-finalists will be quick to get the tapes, start studying the opposition, looking for potential weaknesses in the defense, and so on and so on.
There's Albertini who gets a yellow card. That means that 2 of 3 of the subs that the Italian outfit have brought on have picked up bookings. Zaveri and Albertini have gone to the referee's books. It's coming on in this second half. Ulu. Kanyane now. Karim, he really hasn't been on the ball all too often in the last little while. Misplaces that pass. Over the head of Cross into the path of Gurini. A flag for offside. So, Bidvest Wits are going to be making a sub right here. It's Leo Mert, who started the first game and then came on as a sub yesterday. Comes on as a sub today. He'll be replacing Sia Sibagnoni. You're calling for what they need in the remaining 3 or so minutes. Could inject a little bit of extra pace and energy.
Certainly some fresh legs could possibly do the trick, but very little time left. And you mentioned that Karim just a passenger the past 10-15 minutes. But the type of style of football that Bidvest Wits plays, very demanding on the attacking players, because you'll notice that once they lose the ball, just look at Ben and the substitute, they go down and apply a very high pressure for the defense, and it's very demanding on the attacking players, you know, and you see them fading out of the game a little bit closer to the end, and certainly a few changes in the front men could revive that spark that they had in the first half.
There's Mkhize looking for options. Matt wants to get his foot on the ball. Nice from Mkhize, very nice. Leo Matt puts a cross in. Ben Malagowitz! It's going to likely be the winner here. And Wits will claim the 3 points, moving them up to 7 and comprehensively winning Group D.
My colleague, I think, is a fortune teller, because that's exactly what happened. Some fresh legs down the right-hand side, a great ball in, couldn't keep it, the goalkeeper. And the quiet striker, Ben, just bided his time. Here we see the substitute trying to take on the defender, couldn't stop the cross. Goalkeeper, a bit of a mistake there from him, and the striker patiently waiting all game, not involved in a lot of the build-up for Bidvest Wits, but as all good strikers do, the predatory instincts. One mistake in the box and he gets his name on the score sheet.
He poached that one, and now they can put the head of Reggiana up on the mantelpiece. The Italian side are unlikely to threaten in these final few moments, or maybe they'll make me eat my words. It's Sanat. Still he goes on. Sanat goes down. Referee waves away the appeals. That's the second penalty appeal of the game that's been turned down. Now back with live action. Mabena was trying to get forward. Hadn't spotted Leo Mert, who will be a little incensed, because had the ball being played over to him out on the right-hand side, he would have been clean through.
Coaching staff rightfully disappointed, up in arms. I do think once we have a look at the slow-mo, here we go, a bit of skill. Yes, there was contact. Yep. I do think that is a penalty. That is the second penalty that Bidvest Wits got away with. We could be looking at a scoreline of 2-1 as we speak, and very fortunate to get away with that one.
Well, there's 2 minutes of additional time. It will be added at the end of this game. Unlucky for Sanati, feels like he won his team a penalty. Would have allowed them to draw level, just restore a little bit of pride. It's inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. Espanyol will be finishing second in this group, Reggiana last, if things are to remain the same here. Mert with the header onto the roof of the net. He's been lively since he has come on, applauds the efforts of his teammates in attempting to supply him. Skosana, Karim. They just want to hold the ball now, Bidvest Wits. Capueza, Shiman, Willem Dawits. Expected a different run from Mabena.
Very good football from Wits. I do think that Wits today is a little bit guilty of being over-elaborative.
Yes.
Too many times in the midfield. You see Mkhize with a flick. And the past opportunity that we've seen, you see that Bidvest being very direct becomes so much more effective.
Karim. Ball out to Mabena. Fires it into the legs of Albertini. Still Mabena. Karim now. Karim takes a shove in the back. Doesn't go down. There's Mabena again. Bends it. And it's wide of the mark. Bidvest Wits waiting for the whistle. That will be confirmation of their passage through to the semi-finals. It was all but confirmed prior to the start of this this match. But they have produced a performance worthy of a team that will be present in the last four of this competition. Here's Mkhize turning it on for the fans on the far side. Now finds Mabena. Skips past one. Free kick. Albertini is already on a yellow card.
Certainly frustrating the Italians.
There's Mert. It's out to Skosana. We've gone past the 2 minutes of additional time. We're almost into a fourth minute, in fact. 3 minutes have now elapsed. Wits finally make their second sub of the game, and it's not even going to happen. The referee's whistle blows, a rather bemused Zabibu Mabena looks around. His team are already through to the semi-final. The referee waving away the protests from the Italians. Some go to shake his hand, the captain telling his teammates to get clear. We don't like to see these ugly scenes. They were thoroughly outplayed by Bidvest Wits, although they have a right to be incensed by 2 penalty appeals that were waved away.
Certainly a lot of frustration for the Italians. Not only has Bidvest Wits been clowning around with them in the last 2 to 3 minutes, which builds to the frustration of the missed called chances for the penalties, but overall I do think that Bidvest Wits managed this game very well. They did outplay the Italians. Italians really never looking dangerous at any point in the game, and Bidvest Wits with a solid performance that see them through to the semi-finals.
South Africa have a representative in the final 4 of the competition, and it is thoroughly deserved. You will consider them to be amongst the favorites now. They stand out like a sore thumb. There are 3 European competitors who take up semi-final berths, and then they are Bidvest Wits. So the hopes of a nation fall upon their shoulders. Can they do South Africa proud? Bidvest make it through to the semi-finals of the competition with a narrow 1-0 win over AC Reggiana of Italy.
Thank you very much, Grant Bissett. Well, I can tell you that it is celebrations all around at the stadium because people are just excited that there will be a South African team in the final. But joining me, we do have the AC Reggiana coach, Coach Gio. Coach, another defeat. How did you see the game? Please unpack it for us.
Ha detto come ha visto la partita, abbiamo perso, però i giocatori come hanno fatto oggi? Come hanno giocato?
Ma secondo me è stata una gara equilibrata, forse loro hanno qualche di qualità indubbiamente, però la mia squadra ha fatto una buona gara.
He says the players it was a very equal game. The guys played very well. Wits has got a couple of good players that put them under pressure, but it was a good game all around.
Now offered to the playoffs, any plans that he has going into those particular encounters?
Hai qualche altro modulo di gioco per le prossime partite che vuoi fare un cambio o due?
No, perché purtroppo siamo in pochi, qualche ragazzo, qualche problemino, vediamo un po' di gestirci e domani abbiamo un giorno libero, cerchiamo di recuperare e poi venerdì vediamo.
He says he's got a couple of injuries in the squad, so he's very limited to the players that he's got available, and tomorrow will be a nice rest day and we'll see what happens on Friday.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, grazie.
Thank you.
Well, that is the coach of AC Reggiana, saying that of course he does have a few injuries and maybe that will impact his squad selection ahead of the playoffs. But joining me is the coach that walks away with the victory here today. It is the coach of Bidvest Wits, Dylan Shepherd. Coach, your analysis of the game.
Yeah, it was tough. You know, the Italians were very aggressive. You know, they put pressure on us. But, you know, I'm glad with my boys. You know, second half we turned it on. They were able to hold ball under pressure, you know, move the ball well. You know, we got the goal I think we deserved. It could have had a penalty in the end, but, you know, that's the way the game goes.
Last year you were pitted against Torino FC. Did that serve as a reference point with regards to Italian football?
Well, we knew what we were going to expect from the Italians. You know, like I say, they're very aggressive, tactically very good. You know, they try to outsmart us and set traps for us. But I think, you know, the boys came through. I think some of the individual performance from some of the boys was very, very good. And as for the team, we were brilliant today, I think.
Coach, and just finally, the hopes of the nation rest on the shoulders of Bidvest Wits. A message to the fans.
Sure, my shoulders are getting heavy. No, I'm joking. No, I think, you know, we've got to go out there and just, you know, plan for the game. We're going to go watch. I think we're playing at Den Haag, so, you know, we're going to go watch their videos. Yeah, it's going to be tough. You know, these international teams are very good teams. Like I say, we're in the semi-finals and we'll have the day off tomorrow. We'll enjoy that and then we'll get back to business.
Thank you very much, Coach, and all the best.
Thank you.
Well, that is Coach Dylan Shepherd of Bidvest Wits. Very happy about the holiday that they'll be on tomorrow. But the action continues on Friday, as he said that they are taking on the Dutch side. All the best to Bidvest Wits. Surely all South Africans will be hoping that they are able to win and register a point, or rather go through to the finals of this particular tournament. It is back to the commentary team.
Wits through to the semi-finals. We're going to take a look at exactly how the clever boys masterminded their way through to the last four. It took them quite some time to break the deadlock. This was the first half action. A shot there from Human.
Great shot on target from Human. Coach will be happy with that. Great technique, head down, on target, and Mabena unfortunately couldn't get quick enough to the drop ball.
That was one of 4 on target that they had in the first half. And during the second, there were more opportunities. Fast, furious, frantic here. A couple of times the deadlock could have been broken.
The Italian defensive wall just standing tall there. Really frustrated with Bidvest Wits all day. You can see the bravery of the defender there, just heading it away.
There, Mkhize thought he had scored. His header, though, flew over.
So many opportunities for Bidvest Wits. And only the solitary goal that divides the two teams here.
Now, when it eventually came, it was Mkhize with the good work, and he got a hug from his coach moments after the game. Here's Leo Matt, who had just come onto the field. We were crying out for a sub. It was Matt to deliver. Willem Dowitz on hand to poach that first.
Very patient striker all day, not getting the service, making the runs, not receiving the ball. But all credit to him. He waited for his time and got the vital goal.
It was a telling contribution for Bidvest Wits as they claimed the The group with 7 points. They are through to the semi-finals. They had 19 shots on total. They restricted AC Reggiana to only 1. They had a little more of the possession as well, 56%, but they thoroughly outplayed the Italians.
Thank you very much to our commentary team as we conclude day 4 of course, the Gauteng Future Champions 2018. Joining me pitchside, we do have Thabo September and Nkosi to go through what has transpired today. Thabo, let me start with you. Your highs for today?
Definitely has to be Wits qualifying, representing Africa, not just South Africa, because they are the only African country, the African team now left in the top 4. And wish them well in the semi-finals. And of course, the Sundowns game was also interesting.
See, the level of competition is amazing because you're seeing 17-year-olds really playing out for it.
Yeah, the competition here is on another level, which is good because you need to learn to compete at an early age, have that mentality to want to win all the time. And we've seen that today, in fact, in all the games with these boys, they gave their all, they tried so hard. Even those that were eliminated, were sad, but they tried very hard. They did their best, which is great for the development of football. And congratulations to Wits for being the only African team in the top 4.
The first game for today, of course, was Jomo Cosmos. They lost their 3rd game of the tournament. Thabo, your overall impressions on this Jomo Cosmos side?
No, they lacking something up front. They've only conceded 3 goals in 3 games, and that's because they don't have anyone who's putting the pressure up front so that they can relieve the stress in the defense. And you can see the goals that they also concede are just goals that because of pressure coming through to them, and it will at some point pass,
See, just elaborate on what I was saying.
Well, out of all the teams, South African teams I've watched, they are one team that doesn't look free. All the other teams look free. They look like free to play. Express themselves. Show off their skills, their quality. They looked a bit contrived. And I wasn't impressed at all. Even the way they defended, wasn't good. And also even when the way they went forward wasn't convincing because they couldn't even string a few passes together, 4 or 5 passes together. That's how bad their campaign was. And I think they're going to go back to the drawing board and do a debrief, and then they're going to see a couple of things that they need to work on.
And Thabo, going into the playoffs, what is it that Jomo Cosmos need to do this time around to register their first win of the campaign?
They need to be positive, definitely, with their game, the way they play. I know from the senior team as well, the philosophy is all about defend first. But they need to let them be free, let them do the right thing in terms of going forward. That will give the boys a lot of confidence, as a team, that they are trusted with winning a game than defending a game.
And now we do have, of course, Mamelodi Sundowns. They were also in action. See, your overall impression on how this team from Pretoria played in this particular tournament?
Well, a couple of very good players. I think there's a lot of quality all around in their team. It's also just unfortunate that they bowed out, but they did their best, But they played against a team that was very well organized, and they made sure that they pressed them very high, not allow them to play. And whenever Sundowns reclaimed the ball, they protected their lines very well. That's the reason why in the entire first half, Sundowns couldn't get into the opponent's box, and only in the second half where they were able to start getting those holes, because as the game progresses it stretches, because the Ghana players were also starting to tire, so the game obviously will stretch. But overall I thought they fought very hard, came back, took the lead, but then gave it away in the end.
Thabo, some individual brilliance there, the likes of Cassius Mailula from the team like Mamelodi Sundowns.
Definitely great talent from that team, and they created so many chances, and having conceded a goal from a mistake from the keeper, and the goals that they've scored, they created those goals, beautiful goals as well. Unfortunate to bow out, but they've got certainly a group of players that can go far in this team.
See, that lapse of concentration really cost them the game.
Yes, of course, especially from the goalkeeper. Because at the end of the day, even here, when you look at this goal, it's a bit fortuitous, but at the end of the day, concentration, especially when you go up and you're still searching for more goals, you need to make sure that you still, even though you're pushing forward, but you still remain organized. And such things will happen. Even in the set piece here, I thought the goalkeeper could have done well. You know, for most parts of the game, he played very well, but only those 2 mistakes, you know, horrendous mistakes, led to him conceding 2 goals, which is something that he would be disappointed about.
And Thabo, what are some of the positives that our coach Pius Kosana could take from the group stages?
Their players never gave up when they were down. They always played their brand of football that we know them to play. And for them to create so many chances, that's a positive. They do have things to work on. I mean, the captain is doing a wonderful job on the left back, moving forward and creating chances for the team. So yeah, there's a lot of positive than the negatives, but the negatives would have to be dealt with also.
See, another high-scoring game here was between Spartak Moscow as well as Black Africa Hopsol. They still weren't able to get a goal here today. Your impressions on their overall performance?
Well, for me, that was a one-sided affair, you know, and I think Spartak Moscow did just the basics, you know, just get a set piece, put that ball in the back, in the box, and a good ball in the box, and then just attack it. When there's a rebound, you lash onto it. And also here, as we can see, great movement, you know, players taking positions and the ball being fed in, you know, a follow-up also, you know, there's options in the box for a player on the ball to pass to. So I think it is a professional performance from Spartak Moscow. As for Hopsol, I think there's a lot of work to be done, you know, with regards to how they apply themselves in this tournament. And I met their coach afterwards, and he did say that the team was sort of put together haphazardly, and he wants to go back and just work with these boys more and show them that, you know what, from where we come from, I think there's a lot that you guys still need to learn, and you saw the level that is waiting for you if you want to make it big.
Tabo, the first game between Bidvest Wits and Spartak Moscow, we saw that they are a team that can really sit back and absorb the pressure, and today they showed.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, Wits was putting pressure on Spartak on the first game, and we see here they were even free to even attack. Now they had the freedom because of the opponents that they were playing, so they had the freedom to go forward. Hence, they scored 5 goals. You could see the goals even it was more like one-on-one kind of creation. You know, where someone goes outside and then Hopsol forgetting where position-wise where are they, and one-on-one with the keeper. The keeper did his best. He made a couple of saves as well.
And Sia, just quickly with regards to Spartak Moscow, the future for them in this tournament, seeing that they are a very defensive side, but when they go forward, they go all guns blazing. Well,
to be honest, my opinion is that I don't see them as favorites. I think they're still going to face a team that's going to test them, just like Wits test them earlier on in the tournament. But they are capable of going all the way and possibly win it because they are well organized.
Thank you very much. Thabo, just talking about Orlando Pirates now, they lost to Espanyol. Where did the Paga Paga, team lose it here today?
That was also another game that was very tough. The problem was with Pirates is that they like to let games, they always concede on games, and for them to come back from those games, it's never easy. And they met a team that was also strong in terms of keeping the ball, passing the ball, and hence the score being 2-1 because they had to chase the game, and when they thought that they were in the game, Espanyol came back again and scored another goal.
Yeah, and basic mistakes, because you see it's a set piece, bad marking there, and also the second goal. The player just runs the ball through the center and he was allowed to just take the shot and leave the goalkeeper exposed. I think those two are basic mistakes, and you can't allow that when you're going to play against teams like Espanyol, well-taught players.
Thabo, and plaudits must definitely go to Pirates. I mean, the fighting spirit that they showed in this game.
Yeah, they've been doing that on all 3 games that they've played, but it's not what you want as a coach. You don't want the games.
And looking at today's result, Jomo Cosmos lost to Club Brugge, what Adon Den Haag won 3-1 against Highlands Park, Espanyol winning against Orlando Pirates, and Bidvest Wits carrying the hopes of a nation when they won against AC Reggiana. Now moving on to Friday, Jomo Cosmos take on Black African Hopsol, while Highlands Park take on Orlando Pirates. Mamelodi Sundowns taking on AC Reggiana, and Ado Den Haag taking on Bidvest Wits. That last encounter, the semi-final, Thabo.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think Wits will be strong. I know the boys from Holland, they are tall and strong as well, but how Wits keep the ball, and that is known to be a Dutch thing, to keep the ball just like the Spain teams do. But Wits are a tough team to play. Wits are tough. If I was in this tournament, I wouldn't want to face Wits now. I would rather face them in the final. They are the favorites for me.
And see, are we in for a humdinger of a day on Friday when the playoffs will resume?
Yes, of course. I mean, there's still everything to play for the other teams that are not in the semi-finals, because this is development. You know, it's not mainly about winning, but it's about making progress in how you're playing, you know, and all the habits, you know, instilling the right habits into the players' heads. And I think the coaches focus mainly on that more than just winning the cups. But then, of course, whenever you get into a competition, whether you are being developed or an old player, you still want to compete, you still want to win things. So at the end of the day, the development of the players is going to be a winner in this tournament.
Thank you very much, Sia. Of course, the action will continue on Friday with regards to the future champs for the 2018 edition. Now looking at the upcoming fixtures, football fixtures for the total CAF Championship League, the group stages and playoffs draw will be live in your World of Champions at 7:30 tonight. Make sure that you do not miss that one, as it will be interesting to see which team will go up against which teams. Looking at the South African teams, of course, that are still in that particular tournament. The same thing with the CAF Confederations Cup, the group stages live and in HD on your World of Champions at 7:30. Now, of course, we do have our magazine shows tomorrow. Do make sure that you do watch Thursday Night Live with Marawa at 8:30. The action, of course, will be live and in your World of Champions. And if you want to know more about what's going on in the continent as far as football is concerned, tomorrow do catch Soccer Africa at 9:30. And of course, our cricket side will be in action tomorrow. Very important thing, we do have Kagiso Rabada that will be playing. It's South Africa going up against Australia in Cape Town. A big thank you to my guests that were able to join me here today as we were able to unpack match day 4 of this prestigious tournament. Thank you very much, Sia and Thabo.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, there you have it, and that's how it all boils down to. We do have the semi-finals as well as the playoffs. Those games will be played on your World of Champions. Friday is the day. From myself, Lerato Pajo, and the amazing crew from the Nike Center in Soweto, the heart of Soweto in Pimville, it is goodbye.